am totally excited about this. It's in the kitchen, brought to you by Elevation Food Service reps. They will help you out with all of your kitchen needs. Get a hold of Rich O'Brien, and we'll put a phone number for that. In the meantime and in between time, it's pizza. We're going to talk kitchen sink pizza with Chef Scott Hybbeneth. Good to see you, Chef.
Nice to be here.
Absolutely. Angelo's. Talk about Angelo's here real quick. You've got the mothership, and then you have the
flagship down in Littleton.
Yeah. The mothership.
This is fun we have in-house.
Angelo's, I love it. Talk about the location.
6th and Washington. Been there for 40-something years. Like you said, you grew up on Angelo's, Angelo's Pie. The group I'm with, we took over probably about 7.5 years ago. And we did some small changes, kept some of the family favorites, and rolled forward ever since.
I love it. And so we're talking about pizza you grew up with. Mine was the kitchen sink pizza from Angelo's. The smells of this just bring me back to running around like a little kid through Angelo's and back on the patio and friends and family around. What was the pizza spot that you grew up with?
It was Two Brothers in New Jersey. That was the one that we always went to. There was the pizza maker guy in the back. He had this like pizza muscle on his arm, and he'd be back there working that, and you'd see that muscle popping out. And my brother and I used to like lean on the counter and watch him and be like, someday we might too have that pizza muscle on our arm.
What was your pizza?
My pie was sausage, mushroom, red onion.
Woo!
That was me. Yeah.
So kind of close to this.
Similar.
A little bit close. We're going to assemble this delicious pizza today. I think that it's consistent all the time. What we search out for at the Modern Eater is great ingredients and local if you possibly can. Sure. And then we're going to just assemble this baby right now. So if you wouldn't mind, drop us in the comments give us some recognition. Your favorite pizza place that you grew up with or that you love now that your kids are experiencing. But pizza, that's the name of the game. Let's do it.
Pizza, yeah.
So what do you got, Chef?
We're going to lay down our base of our Angelo's red sauce. This sauce wears a lot of hats in the restaurant. This is one of the recipes that when we took over, when you first get into the business, there's a lot of tomato salesmen all over the place, and they come in and they're like, "Hey, we're going to improve your sauce by adding all these different tomatoes and just more artisan tomatoes and things like that." And we did a couple test batches with different ingredients, and everybody whose opinion I trusted said, "Hey, you know what? Don't need to change the sauce." So it was one of those things. We went back to the same old recipe, but went to the same level, the same ingredients that we were using in the past, and this is where we landed with our Angelo's marinara.
Is it the sauce or the dough that makes the signature pizza?
It's a combination of the sauce and the dough.
And then you can't forget the cheese. It's like almost everything, right?
This is true.
Okay, so with everything pizzas to me, some are hit and miss, and the ones that miss are there's either too many ingredients or they're not distributed right, or the middle of the pizza just does. This is consistent throughout. How do you achieve that, Chef?
It's a balance. It's a balance of the ingredients and the quantity of the ingredients.
Gotcha.
If you have especially with an everything pizza like this, if you have too much stuff on it, it becomes a big soggy mess in the middle. And the pizzeria that we used to go to growing up, and they had a couple of their own specialty pies, but if you were ordering your own and you started to get crazy, they would tell you no. They'd be like, "No, it's too many ingredients on that pizza right there." And it's true, and it's it would compromise the product if it's too soggy in the middle. So
just don't want to put it out there.
Yeah.
So pepperoni, that's a good sized pepperoni, but people, you see these real large pepperoni.
Sure do.
What pros and cons of size of pepperoni, or is that just my insane brain working?
I think one of the great things about pepperoni is when it passes through the pizza oven and it gets those curly edges on the inside, and you get that little pool of the orange grease inside there. And I think that with larger size ones, you just don't get the same amount of crispiness. I think it's like a surface area of edge to the rest of the
This is a local product right here.
Clyde Sausage. They've been making Angelo's family recipe for years. And so, we continued the relationship with them. Great local product up at 36th and Inca.
Now, keep it in mind, you could have come in there as chef and just blown it all up, right? I mean, literally, but you decided to keep them.
Yeah, well, I suppose we could have, but I think that there would have been, there were so many people like yourself that grew up eating Angelo's.
I'd have been there with a pitchfork.
And loving it. And
upheaval.
I was aware that of the love that people had.
It really does.
Yeah, I mean, there's a picture of Angelo hanging in the restaurant. It was not to be taken lightly.
Where's that menu that I had? Here it is. Look at this. Show this menu. This is the menu that I grew up with. So it was the family salad and the pizza. I loved every second of it. I think I probably should have looked around a lot. But not just pizza you're doing, Angelo's. You're doing all kinds of great creations. Talk about that menu.
We we have a pretty impressive in-house pasta program considering our volumes. We make 80% of our pasta in-house: fettuccine, gnocchi, agnolotte, pappardelle, strozzapreti. So we have in each restaurant we have a guy that spends a considerable part of his week making fresh pasta, and that's kind of where we really went to the next level with the pasta program there at Angelo's. And it's one of those things that I didn't want to compromise on. I was like, hey, you know what? We'll figure out how to do this the right way at this volume. And if you've seen the kitchen at 6th Avenue, this is spacious compared to our kitchen at 6th Avenue.
It's
so
really true.
To be producing that food out of that kitchen is it's been a feat in itself there.
Yeah, a little bit of remodeling there. That beautiful bar, and now at Angelo's at 6.
Yeah.
It's just a shame with the outbreak. I can't wait to get back to normal. But that happy hour around that bar, that's where you want to be in town with those garage doors open.
Great.
As a kid, when I walked in that door at Angelo's, that was the window into the kitchen right when you walked in. So the kitchen probably got a little bit smaller even at that point with the remodel. This is the pizza. Here's the finished product right here.
Kitchen sink. Let me move that out of your way there.
Kitchen sink pizza. It's delicious. We're going to throw this baby in the oven. Wow. Chef, good stuff, my friend. Okay, that's Chef Scott Hybbeneth here with us in the kitchen. We have to end the segment by cheersing a piece of pizza. What do you think?
I agree.
All right, here it is.
Kitchen sink.
That's it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Angelo's on 6. Give them a shot. If you haven't had their kitchen sink pizza, it's worth your time. Thanks for coming here with us today. Appreciate you, Chef.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Chef Scott Hybbeneth, Angelo's Pizza. Coming up next, I'm looking forward to this one. We met this gal just this last week, and Elizabeth Woodard here with us from Nurture and Nest. Nest is a restaurant inside of Nurture. It's a great place. We're going to share some B-roll with you as we sit down with Elizabeth. That's next. And then Booze in the News, all the booze news you can use. Montana, who's actually doubling as our camera gal today. She's with Black Hat Distillery in Colorado Springs. It's a new distillery, I think, kind of newish, and you're going to hear all about that as we continue. We're going to take a break, come right back from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and we'll continue with the Healthy Wellness segment with a mouthful of food right here from Studio Kitchen.